You're listening to Delayed Replay, the podcast where we recap and review movies that got delayed in that other universe for various reasons, but came out on time in our universe, and therefore come out pretty different for some reason. You might think this is improvised, and well, that's on you. I'm Steven Shinder, and welcome to the show. Airing sometimes every other week, sometimes one week and then the next week. It really depends. Just roll with it. Season 7. Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Delayed Replay, that podcast where we recap and review movies that got delayed in that other universe but came out on time in our universe. I'm your host, Steven Shinder, and joining me once again for this episode about Whitney Springs, which for us came out last July, but in that other universe has yet to come out. It is Maxwell Silver. How's it going over there?
It's going well, Stephen. Thank you for having me back. Is this the first time we're talking about a non-animated film? Or is it? Dang it.
Um,
I'm trying to remember.
yeah, it's possible. Oh,
Possibly.
I think
Oh no, we
for
did Mario Bros, didn't we?
yeah, there's a live action Mario Bros. Sequel one. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one. But yeah, Whitney Springs. This one was directed by Trey Parker, who is one of the South Park guys, and written by Vernon Chapman, who I guess was also involved in South Park. He's listed as a producer. Yeah, how familiar are you with South Park, if at all?
So a little bit. You've seen maybe one or two episodes. I've seen the episode where Kanye West is like trying to work out the fish sticks joke and he can't work it out.
Yeah.
And he's just going increasingly more insane. Um, yeah, I don't know. I get the impression it's kind of quite edgy humor in general. Um, they go in quite a dark direction with stuff.
Yeah. It's been around for almost 30 years, and they pretty much target anyone who's like on any extreme on the political
Mm,
spectrum and just like being
right.
way out there, and they'll do commentary on like current trends and stuff, and they work on each episode. Well, for most of their time doing this, they would work on an episode the week before it airs. Although
Right.
last year they gave themselves a couple weeks per episode, so that was kind of nice that they were able to like have a bit more
Have
time
a
to put.
breather. Yeah.
Yeah, but it also kind of affected the momentum of like, people are waiting to see how certain things resolve, and the longer they wait,
Yeah.
the more expectations they are. So it was kind of a whole thing.
Sure. And I guess when you've got that quite like simple 2D style, you can get those episodes out pretty quickly if you've got a decent production stuff.
Yeah. Like their original, like the first full length episode they did was with like paper cutouts or whatever. And
Yes.
man, that feels like it would be a lot of work if they still did it that
Yeah.
way. They switched
Yeah,
to computers like
absolutely.
right after that.
Absolutely. No, for sure. I think when you can do things digitally, you can loop things a lot easier and it's like, okay. It's I'm sure it's still a crunch, but if you can if they're not like super long episodes and I mean the benefit of that is that you can be quite prescient. You can be working within, like you've said, you can be targeting these celebrities who are in the public eye in that moment, and that moment hasn't passed yet. Whereas, like you said, 2 weeks is a long time in show business, and what was news 2 weeks ago is now old news today, right?
Right, yeah. So they've also done other stuff like Team America World Police,
Mm.
which involved a marionette. So it was kind of in that Jerry Anderson Thunderbirds type style. And
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't. But- I mean, I remember there was some controversy around it, right? There
Uh,
was, didn't Sean
Probably.
Penn get really annoyed at it? Something like that.
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I was probably in like middle school or maybe high school when I saw the movie for the first time, and I thought it was hilarious. But rewatching it within the last few months, I'm like, yeah, this is
It's
something
not aged well.
that a teenager would find funny. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I should mention Matt Stone is a producer on Whitney Springs, the other South Park co-creator.
Yes. So it's still them kind of co-creating stuff then.
Yeah. So for this one, we have our main characters. There's this couple. What's the guy's name and what's the girlfriend's name?
What in the film? I mean, it's
Yeah,
gosh. I mean, it's been so long since I saw it. It's been what? It would have been last June, last July. Did you say?
yeah.
I can't remember the name, Stephen. I gotta be honest.
Okay. Well, so the girlfriend's name
Was
is,
it something like Mike?
yeah, the guy's name is Mike, and the girlfriend's name is Whitney. So, it's called
Okay,
Whitney
yeah. She's the
Springs.
Whitney of Whitney Springs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she springs this strange news onto him, hence the title.
I thought that was the
Um,
name of the place.
yeah, like it's a double meaning, They try to be clever with these
Okay.
things. Like there's a
It's
place
both of
called,
them. Okay.
yeah, um,
Yeah, yeah.
because like her family
It's
owns,
Whitney Springs and Whitney Springs.
yeah. Uh, so first off, the movie begins with them like meeting each other. They're on these
Yes.
dating apps and they finally swipe each other. What'd you think of this first date scene?
Yeah, I mean it feels a bit like a classic rom-com kind of setup. I mean, of course, they're matching energies pretty well. Um, you need to set things up with this sort of thing so that you can do a bit of a rug pull later on.
Yeah, and they eat at this restaurant which has a bunch of different artworks. What'd you think of this
Mm.
particular choice for the restaurant?
Yeah, I mean it's quite a particular um art style. I mean there was a weird amount of like I don't know, it almost looked like acupuncture, some of it. Very like spiky needle experimental art on these walls. And maybe that's part of the focus on the conversation because um our main character, Mike, is working as a slave reenactor as like a part-time gig. And he's but what he really wants to do is he wants to be an artist and he wants to get into um art and him seeing this sort of this stuff on the wall, this weird um spiky sort of experimental art makes him kind of a little bit grumpy because he thinks it's all being produced by AI.
Yeah. He understandably gets frustrated that AI, we get these moments in the movie where people brag about coming up with an answer or a picture via chat GPT. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but in real life, whenever I hear someone brag about coming up with something or finding something with chat GPT, to me it feels like the equivalent of bragging about taking a dump.
Yeah. Yeah. It's passed through me.
Yeah, I saw this meme where someone said that I'll be your chat GPT. You ask me a question, I drink a whole gallon of water, and you'll get the same wrong answer from me.
Yeah, those ones are great. There's been some good parodies of it. But yeah, so I mean, I think there's almost a reflection of you know, um, there's the social critique of the way that the chat GPT is almost being used as you know as service instead of human labor, and in a similar sort of way, this guy, his his ancestors were slaves. I mean, bit of a spoiler alert. That's kind of what we find out a little bit later on in the plot. Um, and his uh his girlfriend's ancestors were those the owner of his ancestors, right? And so there's like a little bit of a sort of subtle foreshadowing there where we hear in this first date, in this first conversation, that she kind of likes this AI art, and she kind of thinks that it's got this radical sort of quality to it. It's very groundbreaking and edgy, right? She's sort of maybe shown herself to be a little bit complicit.
He is like rolling his eyes about this, but he kind of wants to overlook her opinions on AI because he's like, okay, well, this is a disagreement here, but maybe we can still get along about other things. And you mentioned
Mm,
the subtle foreshadowing. Another bit of subtle foreshadowing is they have the same last name. They're like, "Oh wow, your
mm.
last name. Wow, that's such a coincidence." And of
Yeah,
course,
they're both
they're
called Springs. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
Mike Springs and Whitney Springs. Which
yeah,
means if they get married, they wouldn't have to change. She wouldn't have to change her name. She'd still be Whitney Springs.
right. Or they could change both of their last names if they wanted to. They
They
could
could.
be
Yeah.
Whitney Winters and Mike Summers if for all
Mm,
they care.
they could do that. That's uh, that's a good point, Steven.
Yeah, almost as pointy as the acupuncture
As the
stuff.
acupuncture art. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it wasn't actually literally acupuncture, but it kind of looked like acupuncture with all these needles going into forms.
yeah. And so, yeah, there's a foreshadowing with the same last name because slaves, in the past have had to take the last name of their slave owners. Also, this episode is coming out like at the end of what's Black History Month over here in
I
the
see.
US, which is kind of apt. Um, but it's a different month over there in the UK, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like October or
I
something.
think it's, yeah, I was gonna say I think it's October, but yeah, yeah, October.
Yeah, so that's kind of nice that it's I guess, a different month around the world or something. So
Hmm.
it could be Black History Month year round.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Let's learn about Black history every month.
Exactly. So he is doing his job as like a slave reenactor at the Living History Museum. And we get like these moments where some of the museum goers ask these really naive questions, and there's
Hmm.
some edgy humor that I dare not repeat here. Like it's the South Park guys, so you
Yeah.
kind of know what to
Oh,
expect.
you can fill in the blanks. Yeah,
Right,
for
yeah.
sure.
Um, but yeah, eventually he does find out, and like it's kind of I wasn't sure right away if like Whitney herself knew the full picture, but we do find out that like her ancestors used to own his ancestors as
Mm.
slaves. Like, how did this play off for you?
Well, it's quite an interesting kind of sequence of events, isn't it? Because he's sort of, he's in and around this living history museum, and he ends up making friends with one of the people in the records department who goes through the sort of like a historian. They go through all of the you know these old pieces and old sources, and they find um, one of his ancestors in one of these old records. And it's kind of like, oh well, how curious. That's that's my great. How many greats? How many greats, Stephen? How many did you say?
I
One or
think it
two.
was like great, maybe four. I don't know.
Great. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. So his great grandfather was owned as a slave. So he finds out that was the case, and he traces his ancestry back to that, and finds out his kind of his real name, right? Because his name is taken from the the slave owner, but um there's another piece of documentation which says his name before that, which was shopping mall. His name was his name's from the shopping mall family.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced shop and mall.
Shopping mall. Yeah. Sorry, that's my bad pronunciation.
Right.
Shopping mall.
Yeah, I think
Um.
it was made up for this movie though, honestly. Like I wouldn't
Okay.
put it
Yeah, it
past.
sounds like a fake name.
Yeah.
Um. So this guy Mike, who's played by Kendrick Lamar, right? Played by
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. We forgot to mention that. The one and only.
Yeah.
Who I haven't seen acting in really anything before.
Yeah. And I haven't seen anyone else named Kendrick Lamar. It's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
sus, you know?
yeah. So yeah, Mike Springs. He finds out his real name is Schopenhauer, but then he sees that hang on, that's my sees the family tree of the Springs family, and realizes that his new girlfriend Whitney is actually the person who used to own his great grandfather.
And in these records, there's also like photos of the ancestors, which is pretty much just the same actors, but in older, like 19th
And
century
yeah,
clothing.
yeah, and black and white photos.
Yeah. They couldn't afford new actors for this one photo.
It's fun, you know. You gotta get. I mean, when you got like Kendrick, you gotta pay for Kendrick Lamar to be in your film. You gotta save your budget somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, getting him in this film, as was the case with the Super Bowl, it's a slam dunk.
It's yeah,
I know
absolutely.
I know sports.
It's a real touchdown.
Yeah. So he
All right,
goes,
so how do things kick off then?
yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
Hey,
Like in soccer.
let's
Um,
keep them rolling. Yes.
yeah, strike. So he goes to, he goes on another date with Whitney and he's like, "Hey, so I was looking at these records and it turns out," and he like I guess he like casually brought the records with him. Like I don't know if he's allowed to like bring
Mm,
these files with him outside of the place, but he like shows them to
yeah.
her like on the table and she's like, "Oh, wow. This is awkward."
Mm,
And like she goes into like what she knows about her family history and she says her family owns this property, like this land called Whitney Springs.
mm,
Um, and I guess her like, people before her and her family were also named Whitney. So
yeah.
like, yeah, it's like a traditional name or something.
It's it's a pea plantation, if I remember correctly. They grow peas.
Yeah. And so she's like, you should go with me and this will be fun because we're like two peas in a pod and, just trying to make light of the whole thing. Um, but I don't know about you, but I was feeling kind of paranoid and suspicious during this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at first he's a little bit suspicious, but then he kind of, he thinks about it and he goes, "Well, I do want to kind of find out a few things about where I come from and, you know, what it was like. So maybe it makes sense to go down to Whitney Springs." Oh, we haven't mentioned it's a musical as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's that element as well. And so he's singing a song about how he um he's conflicted. He's feeling conflicted about, you know, he doesn't know whether he can keep this relationship going because now even though it's not Whitney's fault, he's like, I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. He's like singing
That's one
all
of the lines in
these.
the song. He's like, I don't know, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. My ancestor with a beard and saying stuff like, I'm feeling conflicted about all this pain
Yeah,
that was inflicted upon my past people before
it's like
me.
Hamilton. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like Hamilton rapping.
Yeah. It makes sense that like weirdly the trailers did not lean into this, which I guess is a
Mm.
trend that,
I'm
they
not
hide.
surprised. The songs were terrible.
Like I don't know. I thought some of them are fine, but um they don't lean into with this being a musical. Uh
What was your
but
favorite song of the soundtrack? What was the standout?
I quite liked the song Norfolk where
Mm,
they're talking about what if they'd grown up in Britain and had a British accent and like they sing the words with a British accent.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I could have been British.
Yeah. Um, but in hindsight, it makes sense that this would be kind of a musical because Trey Parker and Matt Stone, like they love musicals. Like South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut was a musical. They
Mm,
did Cannibal, the musical, I think it was called. And they've done the Book of Mormon, which is like an
mm.
actual stage musical.
Stage show, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, it
actually
sounds like
knew someone in
the.
college who performed in that at some
Oh,
point.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
his name was
wow.
Jacob. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't know. It does very much seem like their part of their MO is a thing that shouldn't work as a musical, the musical.
Yeah. Um, so he's taking a look at this pea plantation and we kind of
Hmm.
get these flashbacks of how their
Pea
ends,
picking.
yeah,
Yeah.
pea picking and we we get, we get these we see how their ancestors interacted with each other and the power dynamic there. So there are definitely moments that feel uncomfortable, but they also try lacing them with a bit of comedy. And yeah, this was like a really strange mix, but I guess is kind of to
Mm.
be expected from the guys making this movie.
But there's a bit of a twist here, isn't there, Stephen? Because then his girlfriend, Whitney, while he's in the fields, hits him over the head with a wrench.
Yeah.
So she wasn't trying to get him in touch with his ancestry at all.
Yeah, she
Kind
was
of a bit
trying
of a
to
get out kind of twist going on.
yeah, she was trying to turn him into his ancestor, which is
Trying to turn him
evident
into
as
his ancestor.
when he wakes up, he's dressed in like the outfit that his ancestor used to wear. Like I guess her family
Yeah,
kept these and yeah, it's really unsettling.
he's in shackles. Yeah. So now the slavery enactor has become the slave.
Yeah, it's qu quite a twist that nobody could have seen coming.
For sure, for sure. I mean, it really comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And we also see her cousins come into the room with her,
Mm,
and they're like, "Well done, cuz you have enacted the plan completely to the finer details," or whatever it is they say.
mm.
Um, just over the top villain speech type of
Yeah.
thing,
And it
which
turns out one of the other cousins was the one making those like weird acupuncture paintings.
yeah, they were trying to rage bait
And they're
Mike.
just sat in another room and they're just clicking generate on Chat GPT, just generate. Give me another one. I want another one. And then printing them off of this giant printer that's like it's got a like whole the cooling unit just to keep this giant printer running so that it can keep generating these um awful experimental art.
Yeah. And they've got these other captives as well. So they're like, you're gonna be joining them and be picking peas for us for the upcoming pea festival.
But the yeah.
Yeah, because that's how they make all their money, basically.
Yeah. It's sort of like yeah, a bit of a cult. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, j just a bit.
just just a tiny, just a little bit cultish. Tiny,
Yeah,
just a tiny bit.
yeah,
Um, yeah. But then there's kind of all this tension building around this as we're seeing the rest of this sort of cult. And as they're leading up to the P festival, the because it's a thing that brings in all of these different communities of people, and it's whoever can uh, farm the biggest P is the one who wins. So they're using like these like they're genetically modifying these pea plants so that the peas will make the biggest the they'll make the biggest pea. And there's a few of them that are like, the size of a fist, these giant peas that you could eat into them like an apple, but they're a
Y-
pea.
yeah. And there's even one that looks literally like a fist, but
Mm,
it looks like it has a
yeah.
couple extra fingers. So again, they're like
It kind of
really
almost
hitting.
looks like it's doing like a black power sort of symbol, but it's like um but it's malformed. Well, like you said, it's got extra fingers. It's almost like this AI
Yeah.
has latched onto it, and it's like almost controlling reality.
Yeah, it's like AI versus activism. And there's even that
Yeah,
line in the movie of like, well, you can't spell AI without activism, or you can't spell
yeah.
activism without AI, so suck it, you know?
It's really it's interesting that this movie about slavery was, the themes was so kind of focused on AI because you would have thought it would be about slavery, but and um the way in which prejudice has still is still kind of manifest in modern society through these microaggressions and things like that, almost like a Get Out. But actually, it was much more focused on the AI aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's weird because you would think that AI, or at least like technology and mechanical devices would replace the need for human
And
slavery.
for prejudice,
Um,
even.
yeah,
In an
yeah,
AI society, you would have thought there'd be no prejudice, everyone's equal, everyone's fine. But actually, it's like even in the AI society, there's slavery and racism, you know?
yeah. And there's even the whole thing of, if AI is artificial intelligence, like if it can be like a person, then aren't robots also being enslaved in a way? And so that's why
Right,
it felt really out of
right.
pocket when they revealed that they have like these robot slaves as well.
Yeah, they've got robot slaves, and because they see these people as like as robots, and they see robots like people.
Yeah. So if I kind of get the vibe that this was written within a week or two, it's similar to South
Yeah,
Park, you know?
yeah. It seems a little bit rushed, to be honest.
Yeah.
A little bit unfocused.
Like there's commentary here. Like it definitely makes us think about some of these topics, but it doesn't feel like it says everything that it could have said, which it might
Yeah,
have been able to
yeah.
had this film been delayed, pushed back, and given more time to cook or whatever.
Stephen, what did you think of the ending with the escape?
Yeah, I thought the escape was interesting. Like we get this Mike is trying to remember what he read in the records, and there's
Hmm.
this flashback that shows how his ancestor was able to like take down this racist railway engineer in order to help others escape through this railway to freedom. Um, and
Right.
so
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and so
I mean, we
that
get a bit of a flashback moment to that in the story where he's like he pulls the railway engineer out of the train, and then he's the one shoveling coal for his fellow freedmen.
yeah. And so that story motivates him to like try to do something, during the Pea Festival, we see all this stuff going on, the peas
Mm,
are like in these huge bowls of melted butter, which
yes.
themselves look like a piss yellow. I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah. 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 It's quite a grim visual, to be honest. These giant fist-sized peas just soaking in grease and butter. But obviously, they think that it's part of some sort of ritualistic practice.
Yeah. And so, they try to covertly, plan their escape, which coincides with the festival. And so once the festival happens, uh, they're able to, unhook the robots from these things that are like keeping
Mm.
them tied down and restraining them. And so they're able to unleash the robots onto the people at this festival and also, fight alongside each other against these people who are trying
And
to keep them
one
down.
of Mike's fellow friends who he's, being on the plantation with, who turns out is his cousin, his first cousin. Um, just like the cousins, just like we have Whitney Springs, her cousins. This is Mike's cousin, um, and he grabs a pea that is really really sharp, like a very very sharp pea, and he stabs one of Whitney's cousins with this pea knife. Like it's basically a knife, but it's a pea. And the pea knife uh breaks in two. It like shatters, and unfortunately, um, the Mike's cousin Dave gets shot by all the bad guys because the pea knife didn't work. So
Yeah,
it's a
and
bit of a downer. It's a bit of a downer, actually, that
yeah,
moment.
pretty much.
Because
Um,
Mike's holding him in his arms as he's dying. He goes, Dave, my cousin. No,
yeah.
my biological cousin. I finally found you.
Right. So this fills him with rage and
Yes,
they continue like taking down the Springs family and
yes,
people are running away from the festival because they're like this is so chaotic and all that stuff. But
yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
uh,
150th annual tea gathering festival.
yeah, the but yeah, I don't know like what it would be considered that would have like a
They do it every
annual
March
yeah,
20th.
yeah. So he chases Whitney, after she's tried killing him and whatnot. Uh, they end up like at the edge of a pier, and he
Mm.
basically wants to like throw her into the ocean, and she's like trying to talk it out. He's like, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't do this." And what did you think of this whole confrontation?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Michael Douglas at the end of Falling Down. Have you seen, do you know Falling Down, Stephen?
No, spoilers.
No, it's great. It's great. The end of Falling Down, though, the end of a pier, and then Robert Duvall has got Michael Douglas at gunpoint because Michael Douglas has got his daughter and he's like going crazy. And he's like, I'm gonna kill her. But then he's not. He doesn't. I'm half remembering the ending of Falling Down, but that's the vibe. Is this sweltering hot day, end of this pier, and they've got guns pointed at one another. Um, because at this point he's now got a gun. He killed one of the cousins after they shot his his cousin, uh, his cousin Dave, cousin Dave.
Yeah, and these
Um,
and these guns have bullets made of peas, which you
yes,
you would
yeah, that's
think
an
are
important
not,
point.
yeah, you would think they're not that lethal, but these are, you gotta remember, these are genetically modified, super
Yeah,
hard peas, so they can like
you're
put a,
misunderestimating how fast these peas are going.
yeah,
Yeah,
they could really put a hole through someone.
they can really put a hole through someone. Yeah, yeah, as we've seen, yeah, earlier in
Yeah.
the film with cousin Dave. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Mike shoots Whitney, and then Whitney blasts off the side of the pier. She doesn't even like fall off the side of the pier. She gets like thrown fully. I mean, these peas are really powerful.
Yeah,
Like
the impact.
they really blast you. To the point where one of her arms falls off, like
Yeah.
just midair. Just she's dismembered midair.
Yeah, and they do
Because this
like
pee is so powerful.
the replay from like different angles.
Yeah, 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 like a Michael Bay explosion. Yeah. We get every angle of this poor woman. Well, I shouldn't say poor woman, but she's racist. But
Yeah,
she
and
gets
she's
exploded
rich too.
and she uses AI. So that's also bad.
Yeah.
Um she loves AI. She's always writing on Twitter about how much she loves AI bot, her AI robot army.
Right. So now that she's gone, um, like I was a little bit confused about, were there any legal repercussions for this whole thing, or like
None
how
at
did they
all.
s-
None.
they kind of don't
None.
address it that much, do they?
No, the police show up and they go, well, there's no evidence because she's been blasted apart and she's in the ocean. So, we're not going to find her.
Yeah, they
So you're
mentioned
probably
that
okay.
she's in international waters now, apparently, which I don't know if that works
Yeah, yeah, she's
geographically,
in
but
international
whatever.
waters. They can't go in there. Yeah, yeah. They're not allowed. Um, because yeah, they'd be blasted themselves. So they said, okay, well, there's nothing we can do. So I guess we can't arrest you. But um, next time, don't kill people. Um,
Yeah, next time don't
but the police
date.
don't understand.
Yeah,
Well, the
next.
police are kind of like a little bit like, you know, they're a little bit racist anyway, so they don't really, you know, they're a bit prejudiced towards him, which is why they were not cool with him shooting his girlfriend, and blasting her off the side of the pier. But they're also lazy, so they couldn't really be bothered to go and get the body. So they're not gonna
Yeah,
bother with charging him. But we
right.
know as an audience that she deserved it.
Yeah.
So, that's the difference.
Right. And so now the robots are wondering, now that we are free, what are we to do now? You know?
Yeah, yeah, the robots are sort of something like clicks in their brain and they stop, um, because now they have no master. So they yeah, they're just sort of like you get that final scene at the end with Mike and the robots and Mike's talking to the robots and the robots have just gone. Look, I think we're gonna take some time and really, go traveling, find ourselves. Um and uh and they're like, what are you gonna do, Mike? And what does Mike say, Steven?
Mike says, I'm gonna delete that dating app from my phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We get a nice little sting at the end, a little zinger from Mike. Oh,
Right.
well, I'm never dating again. Yeah,
Especially not dating anyone whose ancestors used to be slave owners, because evidently every generation of that sort of family would be the same. No redemption
yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah. And he explains that in the voiceover as he walks into the sunset.
Yeah. It's like this this sunset is like against some sort of desert landscape. So it's like, where the heck is
Yeah,
he now? How'd he get there?
yeah, yeah. It was really strange because he was just by the coast, but now he's like in the desert. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what happened there either, Stephen.
right. But
It's a bit of a
then
continuity error, if you ask me.
but yeah, the credits roll up, over the footage of him walking toward the sunset. And we get the Bad Bunny song AO. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled
Mm,
like EOO, um,
YOLO, you.
But
We
yeah, quite the huge, large sounding song to end with, I guess.
Yeah, very. Uh, that's one of my favorite songs, Steve,
Is it actually?
by uh, by Bad Bunny. Yeah, yeah, I definitely know it. He's
Right.
from Puerto Rico. Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Only a true Bad Bunny fan would know that.
yeah, only a real fan. He played at the Super Bowl
Yeah.
this year, but this film came out last year, so that's you know this is before he was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like last year's Super Bowl, it was Kendrick, and who knows, maybe this got
Yes,
Bad Bunny's foot in the door somehow. I
yeah.
don't
So
know.
now next, so if we want to know who's going to do the next Super Bowl, we should we should wait until Bad Bunny makes a movie, and it's going to be whoever's song is playing over the credits of that film. They will be the one who's performing at the 2027 Super Bowl.
Yeah, because he definitely did not get his foot in the door from El Muerto. That was a weird movie.
Definitely, definitely.
But yeah, was there anything else you want to mention before we go into final thoughts and scores?
Um, uh, no, I don't know.
Okay. All right, so where your
I don't
fi
remember this movie very well. It's been a year.
All right, so where are your final thoughts on Whitney Springs and your score out of 10 if you know of measurement for that score?
Uh, I would give it uh, let's give it 5 out of 10, and my measurement is tens, so 5 out of 10 tens, so 5 out of 100.
Okay, so so then would that be like half a star out of like 10 stars or something? Or
Uh,
it's like a 5% out of 100 for you, right?
yeah, so 5%. I loathed this film.
Yeah, and there was that scene where they
Um,
talked about multiples of 10, so yeah. Um,
yes, yeah, and they sang a song about it.
yeah. I guess I found this somewhat watchable, but still feels very hodgepodge. So I would give this 5 out of 10 peas. So
Yes, that's a good call there, Stephen. It's the peas were very prevalent in the plot of this one.
yeah, it's like it felt like there were almost no scenes where there weren't any peas. I mean, even on their first date, there were peas
There were
in
peas in
the
the yeah in the meal.
yeah
Yeah.
in the mashed potatoes. Yeah,
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a strange meal to take someone on a date to have mashed potatoes and peas, but to each their own. I mean, it's made some of these high class fancy restaurants, they have some weird cuisine.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know that there are people who think that it's weird to have peas and mashed potatoes. Like,
Mm.
I don't I don't get why that's
What's your
considered.
stance? Yeah.
Well, they both taste good, so like having them to get like mixed together, it's like it's fine, it's good. Like they're all going to the same place.
I don't know, I think the flavor kind of complements each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know about having it as at a restaurant, I don't know about paying $20 to have mash and peas as an entree.
Yeah, $20 for that does feel a bit overpriced.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for
Plus tip.
Oh yeah,
Plus a
plus
tip.
tip. Yeah, because they tip in America. Yeah.
Mm, I know about you Americans and your culture. I've
Yeah.
studied it.
All right. So thanks for joining me for this episode, Max. Do you have anything you'd like to plug or any recommendations or anything?
You can find my art at Noxtarl on Instagram and on YouTube. See some of my animated shorts. Um, yeah, that's me.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me on, Stephen.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll include that in the show notes. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. This show will be back in a couple weeks with a different topic. And without further delay, have a good day.
All right, now for the plugs. You can email delayedreplaypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on peas and mashed potatoes. Do you like the combination? I do quite a lot. You can also follow me via the social media listed in the show notes. Go to stephenshinder.com for info on my standalones at Stepping Stones novels. Check out Yes Shift, the Yes related podcast I do with my dad. There'll be a news episode out the same day this comes out. And check out Drum Talk TV Brilliance. And Delayed Replay will be back in 2 weeks talking about the 3D animated Cat in the Hat movie. But without further delay, here's my other self to talk about what he's been watching. Hey everyone. So it's been kind of tough to focus on TV and whatnot with a lot of stuff going on recently. And you can follow my letterbox and Goodreads for anything I'm watching or reading, movie wise, book wise, comic wise. But as far as TV, I guess I have managed to get through the season of the Burbs TV show. And funny enough, around the same time that Suburgatory dropped on Netflix, both suburbs related TV shows. Suburgatory, I watched some of back when it aired, not all of it, but I caught episodes here and there and thought it was funny. So yeah, I've been filling in those gaps. And The Burbs is, I, I guess, based on the 80s Tom Hanks movie. It's a reinterpretation, but I kind of think they didn't need to call it The Burbs. It feels different enough to the point where maybe it would have been better to have called it something else. I don't know how big The Burbs title is as a brand. I don't know if it really draws people in as much. I just remember that before the TV show came out, there were disgusting comments about the fact that it's Kiki Palmer starring in it now. People felt so threatened that it's focused on a black woman now, and they were saying, "Oh, look at that expression on her face. She can't act." When like the expression is pretty much the same caliber as Tom Hanks's expression on the poster for the movie. And I mean, come on, have people never seen her in Nope? It's just ridiculous comments all around. So it's unfortunate that there are still these racist thoughts, which make it tough to have a good faith conversation with someone about the show. But I gave the show a shot, and yeah, there are some people who've enjoyed it, but it felt too mundane for me, and like it didn't feel like it really justified stretching out the premise into a TV show. I wasn't as invested in some of these extra characters that they had. There was an accent joke that went on for a little too long, and the ending, like it has a cliffhanger, and I don't really feel invested in the cliffhanger. So I don't know if I'll continue this, but I gave it a shot. And again, it's very unfortunate that there are these people who are really racist still and just dismiss things based on that right away. But yeah, as for the show itself, yeah, it could have been like it felt different enough. They could have even made it even more different and made it its own thing, but it is what it is. Also watched episodes 7 and 8 of Starfleet Academy. Great stuff done with the Klingon character, and then there's some very existential stuff pertaining to holograms and the other characters as well. Like this show is so good. I can't. I just don't get it when there are fans who just can't get into the show. I just don't get it, but that's me. Now, a trailer came out for Scary Movie 6, and it looks like, I mean, they've even said, yeah, we're not afraid to offend people. The trailer has a comment about they them pronouns, and I don't know how I feel about the way this seems to be poking fun at that. The Scary Movie franchise is, I don't really know that I'm really a huge fan of those movies. They're kind of just something to put on, and they were like whatever. And my memory of the spoof movies that they spawned that were terrible kind of eclipse any jokes that might have been legitimately funny, or it feels like they all kind of do the same types of lowbrow jokes that are very low effort. So I don't really know how much I like those older movies. It's been forever, but yeah, I don't know that I can get on board with this just from that trailer. And it's not something I was really planning to see in the theater anyway, to be honest. Um, so I don't know, might not be my type of humor. And yeah, the trailer like got posted online, and not going to see Scream 7 for sure because of the real life things, the political stuff, and just everything I hear about the story, even without hearing the actual details, just feel really stupid. Yeah, I won't say like what I've heard, but yeah, I'm. It's really unfortunate that the franchise went down this path. It really sounds like they're just leaning in on the old as opposed to the new. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now about what I've been watching. I know there are other things I've been meaning to catch up on. It's just been kind of a hectic time on my end having to juggle certain things. For Pokemon Day, I did watch an hour-long documentary called "The Story of Pokemon," and I watched it for the 30th anniversary of the franchise, and it was such a strange documentary with stock footage used in place of actual Pokemon related footage. Like there was gameplay and anime footage here and there, but for the most part, it would do weird stuff. Like whenever animals and Pokemon types are mentioned, it would show pictures of it, like footage of actual animals. Whenever fans were mentioned, it would show an excited crowd or whatever. It was so strange. It really should have had more interviews, and the narration should have been more energetic. It was so weird. It came out in 2024, I think. But yeah, man, 30 years of Pokemon, that's pretty wild. Anyway, I guess that's it from me for now. This podcast will be back in 2 weeks, so without further delay, have a good day. Also, apologies for the sound quality on both our ends. We'll try to get that sorted out.